Hey y'all, welcome back to Pretty Special Mysteries, the true crime podcast where we tell the stories that matter. I'm your host, Pretty Special. Today, we're going to talk about a woman whose life was taken far too soon. Julii Johnson. Julii was a loving daughter, a vibrant woman, an amazing mother, and the victim of a senseless act of violence right outside her boyfriend's home in a Detroit suburb called Warren, Michigan. The date, January 13th, 2015. A cold Tuesday morning in Warren, which is just north of Detroit. Julii Johnson had just dropped her daughter off at school when she decided to stop and visit her boyfriend. Her boyfriend lived in the 14,000 block of Otis Street. She pulled into the driveway of his home around 10:40 a.m. and within minutes, gunshots rang out. Julii was shot multiple times while she was still inside her vehicle. When police finally arrived, she was slumped over in the driver's seat, already gone. Julii Johnson was only 28 years young. She had her entire life ahead of her. Now here's where things get messy. Julii, she wasn't just shot randomly. Police quickly believed this was a targeted hit. This was planned out, this was thought of, and this was executed with precision. But why? Who in the city, in the state, in the country, who in the world would want to kill the amazing Julii Johnson? Who would want her dead? Now y'all know how this goes. A Tuesday morning in January. The home you go to after dropping your daughter off at school is where you are found in your car, dead. Who are we going to look at first? The owner of that home? None other than her boyfriend, Kevin Dixon. Now, Kevin had ties to the drug world, and the police, do I have to even say it, discovered that very quickly. Turns out, investigators located surveillance footage showing a man leaving a nearby house right before the shooting. And guess what he appeared to be carrying? Something that looked like a rifle in a white bag. And that man was later identified as DeAndre Weems, an associate of Julii Johnson's boyfriend, Kevin Dixon. Now imagine that. You are found dead in your car in the driveway of your boyfriend's home, and his associate appears to be holding a bag with a rifle in it, and you are found dead. This is not a coincidence. This is a smoking gun. But here's the twist. despite the circumstantial evidence. The video. No murder weapon was ever recovered. There were no fingerprints on the car. There was no DNA linking Weems directly to the shooting. And although he was eventually charged, it was for gun possession, not murder. So Julii's killer, still officially unknown. Y'all, that has to be devastating for a family. No DNA, no fingerprints, and no murder weapon. This is disheartening, y'all. Y'all know that DNA is key to solving heinous crimes. So, at this point, Julii's killer, still officially unknown. Now let's take a moment and pivot to the heart of this story and the reason we are all here today. Julii Johnson herself. Julii was described as loving, hardworking, and always smiling. She was a devoted mom to her daughter. Her family has said over and over and over again that she had no enemies, no drama. She worked in a nursing home, took care of people, and was the kind of woman who brought warmth wherever she went. So again, I have to beg the question, how could a phenomenal woman such as Julii Johnson be found in the driveway of her boyfriend's home, shot to death? She worked at a nursing home, for crying out loud. She took care of people. There is no way, with that as her profession, that she wanted to bring attention and drama to herself. Now, Yolanda McNair, Julii's mother, became a powerful advocate after Julii's death. She joined a national movement called Mothers of Unarmed Black Women, demanding justice and accountability, not just for Julii, but for other Black women killed without answers. Yolanda's strong voice became a rallying cry. We don't get media coverage. We don't get the same outrage, but we matter too. I want to sit with this for a moment, y'all. Yolanda McNair is another mother who turned her pain into passion. Who turned her pain into purpose. The love of a mother is unconditional, y'all. It transcends life, and it is strong and prevalent even in murder. Now, this case is about more than just one Black woman. It's about how violence shows up in our communities and about how often Black women become invisible victims. Julii was not in the streets. She wasn't dealing or beefing with anyone. She was simply living her life, being a devoted daughter, an amazing mom, and a stand-up member of society. But we all know it simply takes a short proximity to someone with enemies to bring death and devastation to your front door. And it raises that hard question. How do you protect yourself from someone else's drama when you don't even know you're in danger? Because again, July, on a Tuesday morning in January, dropped her daughter off at school, pulled into the driveway at her boyfriend's house, and was murdered. There is no point in that morning in which July did anything to warrant this type of attack. It's been years, 10 to be exact. July's family, they continue to grieve, and her daughter is forced to grow up and navigate life without her mom. As for Weems, he eventually took a plea deal on gun charges. But here's where the case truly begins to unfold. It turns out DeAndre Weems wasn't the killer. So why was he walking around the city on surveillance with what could potentially have been a gun? We will never know. While he may have been considered early in the investigation, he was not charged at all in the murder of Julii Johnson. Instead, the truth was much darker. Investigators discovered that Marcy Griffin was the ex-girlfriend of Julii's boyfriend, Kevin Dixon. Say that 5 times fast, y'all. So I'm going to break it down. Marcy Griffin used to date Kevin Dixon. They broke up and he started dating Julii Johnson. So investigators discovered that Marcy orchestrated the entire thing. A murder for hire plot, y'all? Are you serious? Jealousy and rage can run that deep? Griffin paid Eric Gibson, who then worked with George Ryder, to carry out the brutal hit. So remember earlier when I said you may not even know you're in danger? Julii probably had no inkling that the ex-girlfriend was this jealous. I'm not saying she didn't know she was jealous at all, y'all. So, in 2009, justice came knocking at the door, and karma came to collect. Marcy Griffin, Eric Gibson, and George Ryder were all arrested, charged, and convicted of first-degree murder. That means the murder of Julii was planned. They were sentenced to life in prison without parole. Julii's family never got to do what so many victims' loved ones never do. They got real accountability. Julii's family got what so many victims' loved ones never do. Real accountability. But no verdict or no sentence would bring Julii Johnson back. So what can we do? We say her name. We keep her story alive. And we push for justice in all cases. Because for every black woman taken from this world, answers are rightfully deserve. Thank you for spending this time with me. If July's episode touched you, share it, talk about it, and let everyone know that if there is a story to be told about true crime, I am willing to tell it. And if you're a mother, a daughter, a sister, and a friend, know this: your life and story matter. This has been Pretty Special Mysteries, Episode 3, The Case of Julii Johnson. I will see y'all next time. But remember, stay safe, stay vigilant, and always know that no one is coming to save us. So we have to be the voices that save ourselves.